Alexia. Today I'm bringing you my very first recipe, and it's for Texas Hush Puppies. Old school recipe. Thank you for joining us. Share, subscribe, and like. Thank you. In my last couple of videos I forgot to say something, which was share, like, and subscribe. So I just said it to start this one off. I want to start off with a picture of a very dear friend of mine. Her name was Sister Granberry. My children referred to her as Sister Grandmother. The reason I want to show you her picture is just to get you a general idea. She's no longer with us. She lived to the age of 100. She gave me a recipe. Matter of fact, she came and showed me the recipe in my home. I called her and I said, "Oh, can you give me a recipe, Sister Granberry, for hush puppies?" And she's like, "I can't give you the recipe. I have to come to your house. I have to show you the recipe." And so I want to share that recipe with you so we all get this old school recipe and we can feed it to our children. So it has very few ingredients. The first ingredient is cornmeal. Sister Granberry used white cornmeal. I use any cornmeal that I have on hand. Just pour it in a bowl. Okay, in the meanwhile, I'm going to turn on the pan. Sorry I turned away from you. And get that pan hot. Cast iron. Sorry.
Go.
I just put some corn oil in the pan, and I just got that fire going. We've got the cornmeal in the bowl. Right here I have some water in the teapot. In the cornmeal, you add just a touch of salt. And into the cornmeal, you're also going to add sugar. I'm a little lazy, so I'm not going to shake this. I'm going to just throw that in there. You're going to think to yourself, well, why isn't she measuring? If Sister Granberry was here, Sister Grandmother, and you asked about measuring, she would look at you like you had 3 heads. So, hold up. We won't be measuring today. We'll be eyeballing it. This is boiling water, which gets poured on top of the cornmeal. And it's going to sit for a minute, and we're going to let that sort of soak up. So far it was salt, sugar, and cornmeal. So we're going to let that soak up, and we're going to talk about maybe one thing while that's soaking. When Sister Granberry came to my house that day to give me this recipe, she came with a cooking fork, not this cooking fork. She came in and she goes, "Everybody needs a good cooking fork." And I said to her, "Well, I have lots of cooking forks, and I have cooking forks." She ignored that. And she still gave me a cooking fork, and that's what we used that day. Her point being, when she's turning these in the pan, she used a cooking fork. She did not use a spatula. So you might want to keep that in mind. The dirty look a 100-year-old lady can give you when you want to use the wrong utensil. Okay, so we're letting this kind of soak in right now. The texture is a little bit dry, but it's kind of soaking in that the boiling water. Okay, I'm going to give it a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I let that set for probably 2 or 3 minutes, maybe a bit more, and I'm putting it into the hot oil now. The oil, again, is corn oil in a cast iron pan. I wanted to go over one thing. I'm kind of having to turn this way in my video because I don't have one of those fancy kitchens with an island, nor do I need that to show you this. And I don't have a fancy video set up. I do have a really great videographer using an iPhone to take these pictures. We don't have that fancy stuff. We don't need that fancy stuff. It's a simple recipe for simple people, and I think we can enjoy food and so forth even if we have a budget. So you can see them sizzling along in the pan. They get this like kind of shape like a side of a spoon. I'm just turning them off the side of the spoon into the pan. I don't bother them while they're in the pan, because otherwise they will stick. I let them just sit there and let the bottom get crisp in the pan, and it won't stick at all. So we're going to give those a few minutes on that side. The amount of time you think it would take, give it a few more minutes after that. I'll show you in a few minutes when it's time to take it out. Okay? Thank you.
No.
Okay, so they've been cooking for a few minutes now, and I'm going to take a peek on the other side to see how we're doing here. There's a little bit of brownness, so I can kind of start to turn them over, and we can probably talk a little bit while that's turned over. I'll talk about cast iron. This is an ordinary cast iron pot, though I have a massive accumulation of cast iron. This is just a lodge that you could buy in an ordinary store. It's a modern piece. I happen to like the size and shape of it, so I use it frequently. The other thing maybe we'll talk about is this bowl. I happen to love Pyrex too because it's so useful. You know, like cast iron is very useful. And that is a pattern called Friendship. So there's another one I just turned over. They're just starting to brown up here. There we go. That one's a little light. I might turn that back in a little while to let it darken. You see, I'm very obedient, and I'm using a cooking fork to turn these over. And I know probably you might want to say that you don't want to give fried foods to your family, maybe. I want to remind you, the person that gave me this recipe lived to be 100 years old. Her husband lived a long life. In fact, they celebrated their 75th wedding anniversary. So you can judge, but keep that thought in the back of your head. The other thought is a lot of the little chicken-shaped whatevers you give your kids are fried anyway. So this recipe, you could edit with a clear conscience to your family's recipes. Okay, so I'm going to give it a few more minutes. I'm going to let these brown. Again, it takes a little longer to cook than you might imagine. So I'm going to leave that a few minutes. So we just switched up videographers. This is my normal videographer, but she's taking a break from that to show you just how simple, she's never cooked this recipe before, it is to cook it, and how with supervision she can safely cook this hot food. So what I want you to do, Samantha, is just take these, pick them up with the cooking fork, hold them over the oil just a moment to drip off the oil, and let them drain on paper towels. Here you go. There you go. There you go. And you're going to let that drain. And if you want to take the rest out of the pan, that'd be great. You got it. So Samantha Shanjalika Collectier showing off our hush puppies. Not only is this the first time that Samantha made a hush puppy, she's never tasted one before. Go ahead, taste one. You can give a review, quick and positive. Wow. It's all right? It's good. Good. When a kid tells you it's good, it's good. Enjoy. Look for more recipes. Subscribe, share, like. Look for our products on Eclectia, online, on eBay. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.